What can you not understand no matter how many times it's explained? How a sewing machine works. Yes, I know. There's a bobbin. How does the thread get back through the other side? This one for me too. I have watched the educational gifs of how it works and I always feel like I have about 2 seconds of, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then my brain immediately loses that understanding, and I'm back to basically having to consider it black magic. How computers actually work and can play complicated games. What's so hard to understand? It's just a few billion logical statements running at a speed of a few billion per second. I'm a software developer and people often ask me if I can explain to them how computers work. I usually say something like, yes, but it will take 10 to 15 hours a week for 3 or 4 months. The problem is how do computers work is actually a shitload of different questions rolled into one. It's actually pretty easy, but very time consuming. How to whistle with your fingers in your mouth. I can whistle breathing in, out, and with my mouth fully open, but I get nothing but spit when I try with my fingers in my mouth. I can't even whistle regularly. The whole concept of crypto trading and Bitcoin. Also NFTs. It's a picture. How do you get the value of it? Actually, NFTs aren't even pictures in most cases. They are just links to pictures. The value comes from everyone agreeing that you own the link to the artwork since it says so on the blockchain, which can't be manipulated and is therefore trusted. Insurance. I understand interpreting and choosing insurance plans, but I work in pharmacy and running someone's insurance to approve their RX is a confusing mess of a nightmare. Every pharmacy employee I've worked with has also told me, none of us understand how it works. We just learn what override codes to input to make it go through. You'd be surprised how much of it is trial and error of just typing shit into the computer and hitting enter to see if it'll work. The concept of insurance is pretty easy. It is made deliberately obscure in order to trick sick people into giving the insurance companies all their money. Anything related to finances, taxes, retirement, stock market, buying a house, the list goes on. It's like the minute my brain hears numbers in quick succession, it self-destructs. Thankfully, my partner works in this industry, so I can defer to him, but I know he won't always be around, and when that day comes, I'm in trouble. And I am a mathematician. I have a degree. But as soon as my beloved numbers turn from a concept into currency, I'm out. The monkey plays symbols in my head. The worst thing is, as soon as people realize I have a degree in math, they tend to ask me that shit. Why people find pineapple on pizza so controversial still remain a bit of a mystery to me. I'm a pineapple pizza lover, and I just want to eat my pizza in peace. The home buying process. Why the fuck is it so complicated? Why can't I just be like, here is money, give me house? I understand how to take out a loan, I understand the concept of paying back the loan, but suddenly at a house and it's, well, do you have an A and an B? Oh, you don't? Well, you'll need to see if you qualify for an C. But even if you have your loan and an A, the seller may want an D and the house will need to X and Z. Or H. But to make the process a little easier to understand, you can take a Y course. Thank you. I bought my first house a couple years ago, and my brain was mashed potatoes trying to understand all the shit I was signing. For all I know at this point, when I tried to go and sell, I might be on the hook for a kidney. Which way is east, north, south, and west? My husband used to try and teach me by turning my body and asking what direction is this? I was like, how the fuck do I know? So I've always relied on, okay, is that a left or a right-hand turn? See the giant glowing ball in the sky? Before noon it is in the east. After noon it is in the west. At noon you're on your own. You can use that to orient yourself. Not when it's cloudy, or you're in a big city with skyscrapers. If someone could help me understand why smoke travels towards you when you are at a campfire, that would be great. I only understand that while hot air from the campfire rises, cold air is drawn in from the bottom, and the area blocked by the chairs or you somehow attracts smoke in your direction. It doesn't seem to make sense that the air would be attracted to that area. The smoke is going to go away from where the air is rushing in. If cold air is being pulled in from every direction but yours, because you're blocking it, it is going to go towards you because it's being blown by the air coming in from across from you. It can't go in the other directions because air is coming in from those directions too. Tides. I've heard about them, read about them, watched documentaries, etc. It just doesn't make sense to me, lol. Water is liquid, it sloshes around in its container. The sun and the moon are big heavy objects in the sky, and they each exert forces on the earth which we call gravity. The moon orbits the earth, and the earth orbits the sun. Not that I doubt you already knew all of this, but it's all relevant towards explaining tides. The sun and moon's gravity is not really noticeable to humans, nor does it have much of an effect on water, but there is so much water on our planet that a small force on all of it adds up to something bigger. Basically, if the moon is on the horizon, the water in an ocean will be attracted towards it, which can either pull the water away from shore, or pull it towards the shore. If the moon roughly lines up with the sun, the effect is exaggerated. But that nice man on Fox News said no one knows how the tides work. Coding. I work in IT and I absolutely love it. I know it's what I'll be doing for the rest of my life and I'm perfectly cool with that. I love electronics and building PCs and all that. Maybe someday I'll dive deeper into it, but God, I cannot wrap my head around coding. Coding is largely just looking at things like a big puzzle. You want it to do a so you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in that order. It's a pain in the butt for most people because most people aren't very suited to planning complicated puzzles in their head. Someone tried to explain last time, but I don't understand telephony. Like I understand that sound is carried through sound waves, etc., but I don't understand how my phone knows what my mom's voice sounds like. In my brain, her voice should come through the phone, a metallic neutral computer voice. How can my phone mimic her voice exactly? I'm usually not that stupid, but this one is incomprehensible to me. It's a bit like asking how a camera knows how to create an image that looks like someone. It simply captures what's there and reproduces it as accurately as possible. The phone doesn't care about her voice. It cares about the sound, or more specifically the vibrations in the air. The microphone reads those vibrations, encodes them and sends them to the other phone. The other phone then turns that information into more air vibrations using the speaker, and so you hear the same sound. But yeah, the phone doesn't care what sound is going into it, it just replicates whatever it gets. Why people trust the political parties to keep their word or have the population best interest at heart. Under democracy, one party always devotes its chief energies to trying to prove that the other party is unfit to rule, and both commonly succeed, and are right. H.L. Mencken, from like 70 years ago. Never really understood why people get so worked up about sports to the point where they will go out and riot on the streets, regardless of whether or not their desired team wins or loses. People, it is just a game. In my country, a very small country, there are over 500 sectarian crimes committed, including assaults, stabbings, and in rare cases murder, mostly relating to a local football rivalry. I myself have been attacked over it, and I fucking hate football. Socks missing after I do laundry. Music theory. This is a good one. Like, it's kinda mathematical, but not really, but kind of yes. Yeah, I don't get it either. Symbols in literature. Like when my teacher explained, the blue curtains symbolize the depression of a character's, and my brain just goes, blue curtains symbolize that the person likes blue curtains. Well, the question to ask is, why? Why is that relevant? Why did the author put it in there? Did we really need to know the color of the curtains in the room? Not everything has deep symbolic significance, of course. Sometimes it really is to tell you something about the character or set a mood, but the point is that a skilled author has reasons for their choices. String theory? I just don't get it. The good news is that string theory might not be relevant now that M theory has gained traction. The bad news is that M theory is even more complicated. Why people think religions are real. Fear of the unknown is a huge driving force through all of human history. Greatest unknown is what happens after death. Why Dad isn't back with the milk yet? It's been 40 fucking years. I mean, how far is the store, or is he milking the cow himself? How to eat with chopsticks. Many people have tried to teach me. Many people have gotten frustrated and failed. I am the big stupid. Why we can't just print more money. How a television works. They record a picture, then the image through wires, and then those electrical signals become color, sound, and motion. It just blows my mind. How time is slower when you are in space, and you age slower even though it's been the same amount of time on Earth. Purpose of life. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. So the purpose of life is experiencing? Purpose requires intentionality. A water bottle has a purpose of holding water, because we made for that use. A lake does not have a purpose of holding water, because it was not made, it simply occurred. Outside of lakes created by dams, a life can have a purpose if given one by the actions of the person living it, but life always predates having control over that life. Therefore, any purpose to life is added, not inherent. What can you not understand no matter how many times it's explained? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.